This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
Right now, police searching for more suspects involved in this week's murder in Clayton. It comes after they arrested and charged an 18-year-old earlier this morning. Good evening, I'm Brent Solomon. Police say Trinell Johnson killed Joshua Harris when he interrupted a car break-in Monday. New tonight, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend is in Clayton with the latest information.
The deadly shooting of 41-year-old Joshua Harris this week sent shockwaves across Clayton and the St. Louis area.
It crossed my mind early when I heard about it.
Police say around 5:30 Monday morning, security cameras caught Trinell Johnson and others on video breaking into cars on Wydown Boulevard. Investigators say Joshua Harris lived in an apartment building on Forest Court and saw the suspects trying to break into his wife's car. Police say when Harris confronted the men, someone fired shots from a Chrysler 300. Harris died at the scene.
I walked through Polo and down Wydown a lot.
Christy Weaver's mom lives in Clayton. Weaver is closely watching her surroundings as a result of the crime.
I walk a lot by myself, so it does make me aware in the morning and the evening just to be looking around and feeling good about where I am.
Police say Johnson was seen on surveillance video getting out of the Chrysler and holding a gun in his hand minutes before the shooting. The major case squad says detectives arrested Johnson around 12:30 Friday morning in the O'Fallon Park neighborhood in North St. Louis. Police say right now they are still looking for other possible suspects, and that is a big concern for some people.
You know, what happened here in Clayton wasn't a mass shooting, thankfully, but you hear about gun violence all the time, and it's happening everywhere.
Prosecutors charged Johnson with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And Johnson is in the St. Louis County Jail with no bond. If you know anything about that deadly shooting, call the Major Case Squad tip line at 314-955-0817. Tonight, the I-Team has obtained records showing Johnson should not have been on the streets at all. A September memo shows the company that runs the ankle monitors for St. Louis County asked the court to allow them to get their equipment back. It also demanded payments and said Johnson was no longer being monitored by GPS. 5 on your side spoke with the St. Louis County prosecutor who said his office knew nothing about this.
I understand you weren't notified that when it arrived in the file, but it was in the file.
But it's in the file as a pretrial assessment. That's not anything that we take action on.
A spokesperson for the court says they can't comment per state statute. We've also learned on the night of the deadly shooting, Johnson was out on bail. It had been reduced following a motor vehicle theft charge back in March. Well, a Herman Police Department officer injured on the job is coming home after months of recovery. Officer Adam Sullentrop was shot back in March. He spent several weeks at Mercy before heading to a Colorado hospital to treat a brain injury. He's expected to arrive home Tuesday. An emergency vehicle escort will lead Officer Sullentrop from the airport to the city of Washington that evening. Anyone who wants to welcome him home, you're asked to line up on Recreation Drive or Phoenix Center Drive. Well, a chain of events in downtown St. Louis lands 2 people in the hospital, including a police officer. It started around 3 this morning when a Hampton Inn security guard noticed several people breaking into cars. This was on Washington Avenue. Police say when the guard confronted them, one of the suspects shot at him. He wasn't hit, but the guard was cut by shattered glass. A St. Louis police officer heading to the scene was then involved in a crash. The officer and another person had minor injuries. So far, no arrests. Well, people who live in St. Louis will soon be able to file reimbursement claims if their Kia or Hyundai was stolen or even damaged in an attempted theft. They can expect to receive a notice by early March to submit their claims in a nationwide class action lawsuit. Owners of stolen cars can get up to 60% of their car's black book value. If the car was damaged, owners can get up to either 33% of their value or about $3,300, whichever is greater. The settlement will cost the companies more than $200 million. A final hearing is scheduled for July. Well, a bill to ban the open carry of firearms in St. Louis is now headed to the mayor's desk. Today, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen voted unanimously to approve that measure. It will give St. Louis police new tools to approach and disarm a person with the penalty of a steep fine or jail time. But there is a catch here. The law can't take effect once signed. That's because the board can't pass this into law without either legislation from Jefferson City or voter approval.
The goal is to take a play out of the Republicans' playbook when it came to the abortion law and taking proactive steps, like I say, to ensure that we can already have legislation on the books to protect our residents, to protect our city, and not have people walking down the street like we're the Wild Wild West.
People who live in St. Louis could vote on the measure as early as next November. Tonight, the board also released a refined plan for spending that $280 million RAM settlement money. A survey of nearly 3,200 people found the top priorities are these: inadequate city services, road infrastructure, slow 911 response times. The board says they'll focus their efforts on projects like attracting and retaining city workers, increasing public safety, and improving city finances. Well, tonight, an East St. Louis woman is without a home. An empty property next door caught fire, and that spread to her home. The fire started around 4:30 on North 22nd Street near Henrietta Avenue. It then spread to Helen Vaughn's home. She tells 5 on Your Side she was watching television when her smoke alarm went off. She called her daughter to help get her out.
My daughter was the one that saved me because I can't walk. I could stand a little bit. So she had just grabbed me by the seat of my pants and just pulled me on out. I am very thankful. You can replace all those things, but you know, you just can't replace life.
Tonight, the cause of that fire is under investigation. Well, Skate Laborious might be rising from the ashes soon. Back in June, the historic church-turned-skate park went up in flames, but not everything was burned. According to co-founder Dave Blum, architects and engineers say the building's bones are still in pretty good shape. The founders of the North St. Louis Skate Park are holding a brainstorming meeting this Sunday as they look to rebuild. That's scheduled for noon until 5 at the Crate Place on South Grand. Well, millions of people who receive money from Social Security could get a second payment come March. Brandon Lewis from our National Verify team explains it's not extra money.
1 in 5 Americans receives a payment from the U.S. Social Security Administration. Typically, these are set payments that come like clockwork, but some recipients are wondering if they might get a bonus payment next month. So let's verify. Will Social Security recipients receive a bonus payment in December? Our sources are the Social Security Administration and AARP. Social Security payments are sent out on a strict schedule. Most retirees get their payments on a set Wednesday each month, but those who receive supplemental security income, such as people who are disabled or blind and meet income qualifications, get their payments on the first of the month. This can be a problem if the first falls on a federal holiday when banks are closed, like on Monday, January 1st, 2024. So the Social Security Administration will send out the payments the Friday before. In December, this means SSI recipients will get paid on December 1st and December 29th. But this isn't a bonus payment. They're just getting their January money a few days earlier. So no, Social Security recipients will not receive a bonus payment in December. AARP says all Social Security payments that would normally process on a weekend also get sent earlier. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
If there's something you'd like us to verify for you, just email us at verify@ksdk.com. Well, Thanksgiving is almost here, and many of us are now preparing for the winter holidays. The downtown St. Louis tradition that begins tomorrow.
And grab your sunglasses if you're going to be outside enjoying many of those traditions tomorrow. We do have the travel forecast looking into next week and some big changes between now and Thanksgiving. Well, the most wonderful time of the year is kicking off at Keener Plaza tomorrow.
Winterfest begins with the annual 5K run throughout the Gateway Arch National Park. Then attendees can enjoy a tree lighting ceremony. That's from 5 until 8 p.m. Throughout the season, there will be skating, snacking, and you can even rent a private igloo. Winterfest runs until December 31st. For more information about upcoming holiday happenings all throughout the area, text the word holiday to 314-425-5355. Let's go ahead and get a closer look now at your Weather First forecast. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joining us now. And how's the weather going to be for those big events?
You know, this weekend is going to look absolutely fantastic to be out and about. No rain until sometime later Sunday night into Monday. And right now we're looking live over at the Missouri Botanical Garden. They've kind of turned off some of the lights, the garden glow kind of winding down for tonight, but boy, it's been lit up over there all evening long. One of the many things that a lot of people try to get out and see this holiday season. And tonight's a chilly night. We're cooling off pretty quickly. The air is dry. Behind that front that came through this morning, scoured the clouds out. We've dropped into the 30s away from town, and now a new low temperature for the day at 42 degrees in St. Louis. Still a little bit of a breeze out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Air's dry. We were at 65. That was pre-dawn, and now those temperatures are dropping back in the outlying areas into the 20s. We'll stay in the lower 30s in town. Sky's clear now. That front's off to our east and southeast, so we're turning our attention back to the west. We're going to enjoy lots of sunshine tomorrow. We'll watch as the clouds start to increase. This Pacific system, you've got the swirl coming on shore in California now, getting picked up by that system coming into the Pacific Northwest. So that's what we look for as we head towards Monday and Tuesday. In the meantime, lots of sunshine for tomorrow. We should be back into the mid to upper 50s. Low 60s on Sunday, but the clouds are rolling in Sunday. Dry during the day. Monday, we'll have the chance of showers. This is just one computer model run. But again, we're looking at the chance for showers being pretty high here Monday into Monday night. On Tuesday, this will be shifting off to the east and southeast of St. Louis, pulling away later Tuesday afternoon, allowing dry air, clearing skies, breezy conditions to return to the area. That'll set us up for what we think is going to be a pretty cool stretch heading into Thanksgiving and into next weekend. Wednesday, if you're traveling by air, by car, we should be in pretty good shape. Thursday for Thanksgiving Day, we think there's plenty of sunshine, but we're anticipating highs only in the 40s and less sunshine on Friday. Maybe even by Friday night, there's a chance for a few flurries in some portions of the bi-state region. Big travel day on Wednesday. East Coast may have some problems, especially in the morning, but with a easy day's drive of St. Louis, we're looking pretty good here for your Wednesday travel. Should have dry roads. Temperatures will be cool, and there'll be a bit of a breeze. Here is your 10-day forecast. It features the big cool down here as we push towards Thanksgiving and into next week.
All right, I see some lows in the 20s there, Scott. All right, here it comes. Thank you much. And that does it for your news at 10. Corey Miller and Annie Kroll now with 5 on your sideline.